Shabnam, welcome to this President's Chat. Thank you so much for your willingness and courage to share your story for the Queensland Medical Women's Society. I heard about your journey through a friend of yours that I met at a Doctors Health event. And through my work with Doctors Health Queensland and the AMAQ Wellbeing at Work, I've become very aware of how hard it is for us doctors to be confronted with our vulnerabilities, and in particular, our own health. And in general, we tend to be this healthy group, and we work incredibly hard. We like to overlook our own health issues. We are doers, and when it involves ourselves, we often find it really hard to entrust ourselves to others and a colleague. And I think it's a well-known fact that we doctors can be very difficult patients. We might feel that our privacy is at risk when we are treated in a setting that we know in a professional matter. And I do think that your story has a lot of very important messages for all of us. Would you like to tell us a bit more about it?
Yeah, of course. Thanks for that introduction. And thanks for having me today, of course. So yeah, I'm Shabnam. I'm one of, I'm working at Gold Coast Health at the moment as a resident. And yeah, my journey probably started last year after my graduation. I started internship at Gold Coast Health itself, and during peak COVID times. And I've always been someone who loves to work and a workaholic kind of person. So then I started experiencing some symptoms, like very vague symptoms, like some abdomen pain, some intermenstrual bleeding. And like you've said, we all doctors, we just kind of like put our health to one side and just focus on the patients and work. And also it was peak COVID time. So I thought like, oh yeah, it will be nothing. We'll just brush it off. Just keep working, should be fine. So 1 week went by, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks down the track. My family and my friends were like, oh no, maybe you should see a doctor for it. And like, I was like, sure, it might not be nothing. It might be like just, yeah, nothing serious. So yeah, finally went to see a GP. Did an ultrasound, which came back as some sort of like they've saw like a little growth on one of my ovary. Then was referred immediately to the gynae, who at this stage still thought it was a benign cyst. Was like, okay, we'll just do the surgery. And at that time, I was finishing off my first in emergency. And all I could think about was like, oh, I need to go back to work. How many days I've taken off leave. And at that time, I was taking unpaid leave. So had the first surgery and I was so focused on getting back to work. Just took a few days off, went back to work, and then I had a follow-up appointment with a gynae, thinking that like, oh yeah, I'll be like done, dusted, back to my normal self. She sat me down and then gave me that look that we all know, we've learned about it in med school, how to break bad news to patients. So she was like, sorry, but like it's not benign, it's cancer. And I literally didn't know what to say. And I sighed and looked down on the ground. But all I could think about was like, I've got my rural term coming up in a few days' time. What am I supposed to do? And like now I think about it, I've just been given like a life-changing diagnosis, and all I could think about was work. And it took like a few minutes to kind of like think what she just told me. And on that same day, she referred me to the gynae, and she was like, you need to see her tonight. So walked out of her office and like kind of like still processing it, like tears running down. And I was like I didn't know what to do, and saw the gynae that same day. And then I had another surgery, like a staging surgery within a few days. And yeah, so the whole thing, now I look back over it, having been told that I had ovarian cancer at the beginning of my career, like something that I've always dreamed about, like becoming a doctor. And all the things that I thought my future will be, like joining the training program early, getting on this project, that project, or doing all these activities to kind of like start building up with CV, all this was gone in like a matter of second. And like my future was just like very uncertain back then. And I was like, what just happened? So that's my main story, and that's what I want to share today with you guys, and like some maybe take home messages and some key things that I wish like all junior doctors maybe should know about. And yeah.
Yeah. And maybe not just junior doctors.
Yeah,
think.
probably like everyone maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What got you through this?
So I guess at that time border, like international border just opened. So my dad, who I haven't seen in 3 years' time because of COVID, flew here to be with me. Mom came later. So I guess like I think about 3F: family, friends, and faith. So yeah, my family, both here and overseas, they were all like messaging me through WhatsApp. Dad was here, dad was telling them what was happening. And then my really close friends, when I got the diagnosis, I didn't ring dad first, I rang one of my closest friends. And I was like, this happened. She literally immediately left work and came to be with me. So yeah, all my good friends, people from uni as well, reaching out once they knew about my diagnosis, was very, very much like supportive. And it's always like very good to know that like there's like always people here for you. And then my faith as well, like it helped me to go through the whole journey. And I wasn't scared of reaching out to people. Initially, I probably was not as open about it, but I guess I could have done that earlier, because the amount of support that I got from people, both from work and like from friend circles, not even at work, was just incredible. Like people like helping me out, taking me to my scans, picking me up from hospital, picking my dad here, dropping him at the hospital to come and visit. And it was just incredible and very like heartwarming to know that there's people out there for you. You just need to reach out. And it's okay to like show your vulnerabilities. It's okay to kind of share these things if you feel comfortable with it. Because at the end of the day, the amount of support you're going to get is just like incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. I also often hear from doctors that if they hear something like a health diagnosis in their colleagues, they don't really know what to say or what to do because it gets so close. Do you have
Yeah.
any tips for them?
I guess like if you know that person that well, well enough, and approach it like if you feel comfortable with it. But also putting myself in that person's position. Like one thing that I was scared of is having, like I'm already dealing with my own emotions, and then you have to deal with that person's reaction.
Yeah.
That's hard as well. Maybe just like very like open in general, just like see how they're doing. If there's anything you can help, just let them know that you're there for them. Um, I think, yeah, that's one big, and I'm still scared about it, like at work now, but like gradually people are knowing about my diagnosis and the journey that I've been. I'm still scared of having people approaching me and asking me about it. And I'm happy to talk about it, but like I'm just scared what sort of reaction I'm going to feel. And that's the scary bit, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think like if you're very close to that person, approach them. If not, also know when to give them some space. Because when I got told I had cancer, there was a lot of my close friends reaching out, and it can be overwhelming as well because you have to tell everyone the same thing and you're just like repeating yourself. So maybe have one close friend that you can think would be the person, and they can be like telling others like, okay, this is what she's going through. Maybe we just give her some space. Like, yeah. So that kind of helped for me. But yeah, definitely if you feel comfortable approaching them, for sure do that. Or just maybe let them know that you're there for them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And have you encountered any negative reactions?
No, no. Everyone has been very positive and supportive about it.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. I was scared initially by being open about it, that like it might kind of like show my vulnerability, or even like people at work might see in a different way, like as in like oversharing or crossing that boundary. But at the end of the day, it helped me heal. It helped others learn some good, valuable lessons from it. So I'm very happy about sharing it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's been a year now,
Yeah.
since your
Today.
initial diagnosis. Yeah. Um, what did it bring you as a doctor?
Well, there's a lot of lessons that I've learned by being on the other side of a healthcare system. But my main take-home message throughout this past 12 months that I've learned is that look after yourself. Like I had like my future planned. Like I had like everything laid out in front of me. And no matter how certain your life is gonna go as per what you've planned it to be, it can be gone in a matter of like in a flash of seconds, right? This is what happened to me overnight. I saw myself changing from a doctor to a cancer patient, and everything that I thought I will be doing in my intern year was just gone. And it makes you reevaluate your priorities in life and rethink what truly matters to you, right? So that's why I'm trying to say is like, look after yourself. Yes, you can be doing X project, Y project. Yes, you need to work on your CV, but don't run that race so fast that you kind of burn yourself, right? We're all running it, yes, but you can slow down. You will still finish it, right? Take your own time, spend time with your family, spend time with your loved ones, because this is what's most important. Your career can, like, in a matter of seconds, be gone, right? If something happens. So focus on both, yeah, but not at not at the stake of your health. So look out after yourself. Take some time off if you need it. It's okay not to be okay. We are all human at the end of the day, right? We're not meant to be perfect. And yeah, I think that's my main take home message to everyone out there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And we were talking before about the different aspects of post-traumatic growth, which
Yeah.
is being able to reach out to others, but also making something, um, using this experience for something good. And you have decided to raise awareness for ovarian cancer. You will also be speaking at our Doctors Health Forum on the 2nd of June this year. Doctors Unmasked, which is also about, the identity of doctors, which is more than just our work, but also as a person. Can you tell us a bit more about your advocacy work?
Yeah, of course. So yeah, when initially I got diagnosed, like I felt lost. And um I wanted my voice to be heard. And I thought back then, like, because my diagnosis was very uncertain, they didn't know what treatment option would be for me. So during that time, I was like, you know what, if let's say next year is my last year or whatsoever, I want to be remembered as someone who's done something about it, right? Who's fought for like to kind of like raise awareness about it. So I reached out to Ovarian Cancer Research Foundation around May last year and had a Zoom meeting. I was at work back then. We had a Zoom meeting and they were more than happy to have me on board. And yeah, and then I was there head of a campaign for the George Jensen campaign that came out last September. And I've been involved in a few other fundraising activities as well, and like speaking about my story and sharing it to other people as well who's going through the same thing. But yeah, it kind of helped me heal, and also it made me realize that there's like this beautiful community of people who is going through the same, has gone through the same, or has had family who's passed away from ovarian cancer. And the amount of lessons that I've learned from them is just incredible. It's like, and it was very like comforting as well, knowing that I could reach out to these people that's outside of my family or friend circle. And I could be very much honest about how I'm feeling. I could break down if I need to in front of them. Yeah, so that's the work I've been doing with them, and I'm looking forward to more my future like of engagement with them as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you also told me that you joined a Facebook group for doctors with cancer. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, which
So
I didn't even know existed.
yeah, it's a very like so when I got diagnosed, a very close friend of mine was trying to help me out in terms of like the logistic aspect of like internship and whatsoever. Because you have like overnight I had to think about so many things. And yeah, so she posted anonymously on one of the Facebook group, and they referred me to that Facebook group called Doctors with Cancer. And yeah, I met a lot of people, which I didn't think there were so many doctors who's gone through like cancer throughout the internship or residency or and yeah, they gave me like a lot of like tips and support about how to go about the whole process. And it was very great. And I'm still friends with a lot of them. I caught up with one of them last few weeks ago on the Gold Coast. And yeah, she also was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and we kind of like were able to kind of like catch up and relate to a lot of things that we had in common. But yeah, these groups are very much helpful if you want to reach out to other people um, that you feel more comfortable talking to, if you want to talk to your friends or someone that's close to you. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. You've also have a couple of you've written a blog, you've been interviewed. We will share the links to these articles in the introduction as well. Also to your fundraising page. Is that still open, still going?
Yeah. So I fundraised about 2 grand, and I've been involved in other fundraising activities in Melbourne where we raise over 16 grand with some other people from OCRF. So yeah, any support will be more than like will be really appreciated. Yeah.
Okay, well, we will make sure to promote that as well.
Thank you.
And I really look forward to meeting you in person on the 2nd of June at the Doctors Health in Queensland Doctors Unmasked Forum, and speak to you in person. And I hope that you might be able to come to one of our QMWS events as well. The
Of
next one
course.
is 23rd of May. We have
Perfect.
Dr. Joanna Skinner speaking. She's a GP who also writes beautiful articles about her practice and her experiences as a doctor. And yeah, we very
Yeah,
much look
I'm
forward
looking
to see.
forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to it.